ಜನ್ಮಕ್ಕೂ ನೂರಾರು ಜನ್ಮಕ್ಕೂ.
Dear friends, it is my pleasure to be among you to celebrate the 25th year of America, the iconic Kannada film directed by Nagadihali Chandrasekhar. I had already worked with him earlier on Kottareshi Kanasu, and that's how I happened to be associated with America. When this script was sent to me and Nagadihali Chandrasekhar asked me to do the photography of the film, I was glad to do it because we had a fruitful association earlier. We all know that by the time Nagadihali Chandrasekhar started directing films, he was already an accomplished author and novelist, respected and adored by many people. And once he started directing also, he could make such a path-breaking cinema in Kannada film industry. And in many ways, this was a path-breaking film, including its complex story structure, emotional impact, and the great music which Manomurthy composed for the film, and then the efficient way it was made. And I am sure Mr. Nandakumar, the producer, will agree with me that it was due to Nagadihali Chandrasekhar's efficiency of working that this could have been such a project could have been accomplished at that time. Of course, there were films later, shooting largely in foreign lands, but this was a pioneering film to shoot majority of the scenes in foreign country. In my experience about life and the world, this was a film which gave me a lot of new insights. Later I came to know that most of the shooting will happen in America, and that was an opportunity for me to see the world, and I was doubly happy thinking of that. In fact, till then I had been to only our neighboring countries, and this was a big journey for me. Of course, there were many technical challenges, including how to carry the film negative without affecting the X-ray checks of the customs in all the airports. And we had to carry it, as personal luggage, and every time there was some doubt, we have to make them check manually the film roll and plead with them to allow us to carry it. Anyway, we managed to do so and brought back the negative without any technical issues. And then during the shooting in America, it was a kind of a mixed bag of surprises, and I still remember many things from the shoot. I was very lucky to have one of the gaffer from the unit and the light rental house which we took. I requested them to send a person to assist me in lighting. So then the person who was taking the order of lights, he looked at me and said, "Why don't I come and assist you?" I said, "Of course, you are welcome." And that was Pat Grenfell, one of the finest gaffer I worked with in all of my career. To the extent that he was the only person, along with my assistant, Vinayan, and he is no more. He was also a beloved associate. Pat Grenfell with Vinayan, they managed to do all the lighting for the film in the American schedule. In fact, he would bring the 100 kilowatt generator, drive down that to the location, then go back and get the 10-ton truck with all the lights and all that, put up all the light, and then he has enough time to sit and work on his IBM laptop at that time. It was surprising, no? He had that IBM laptop. So, but we worked efficiently. Sometimes I wonder, why the industry have such a big crew in our, scenario in India. Sometimes I also feel that a big crowd of people working on a set is a hindrance to the proper kind of thing. I am not talking against more people being employed, but we need to have certain kind of understanding of efficiency. Anyway, that was one of the greatest luck I had in America, getting Pat on the crew. Then there was many other instances of people interacting, and then one of the memory I have is of a American Indian young girl whom I met, J.C. Thompson, in the just before we went to the Niagara waterfalls, and that girl I found is one of the finest human being and most profound person whom I ever met. Just few months ago I had met Mother Teresa. So I thought this girl was much more profound a human being than Mother Teresa in a way. So I know it is. In fact, I had worked it out into a screenplay, and it is still waiting to be made. So then there was another, old woman we met on a petrol pump. We were stopped to get the petrol, and this lady carrying shopping bags on both her hands walked close to me and asked, where are you from? And I told her that we are from India, making a film and shooting in America. So she looked at me with a lot of surprise and asked me, why are you here? This country has a very few years of history. Your nation, India, has 5,000 years of history. You will get much bigger stories there. What will you do here? It was nice of her to say it, but there was, the kind of truth in it also, because, in fact, what she said was, you are from the land of Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa and Vivekananda. Why are you here? So it was surprising to me to be in America and an old lady telling me that. Then, of course, I thought, another big surprise for me was to see the people begging in the streets of America, and many places at night you will see many homeless people sleeping on the street side. That was a surprise, and of course, then I later came to know that this is the situation all over the world, whether a developed nation or developing nation or underdeveloped nation. Anyway, then there was another shopping mall, big mall. We need to shoot in a small shop, so we entered there and asked the person who was in charge of the shop, will you allow us to shoot in this shop for 2 hours? So she asked me, where are you from? I said, from India. And her face glowed, and she asked me, oh, you are from India. I was wanting to go to India this year, but all the money she saved for the trip to India had to be spent to save her dog who got an illness. So that money went in treating that dog. So she said, at least I could see some people from India, and I am very happy. And she immediately called her owner and asked for permission. And we got the permission. And not only that, she finally agreed to act in the film also. So in that scene, she acts. Another very interesting episode happened while we were shooting at Disneyland. The Disneyland was asking for a $1 million bank guarantee. That was impossible to be furnishing. So what we did was we did this trick everywhere in America at that time. We put Ramesh Aravind and Hema as a newly married Indian couple, and we are all relatives. And this is our trip to America, celebrating the marriage, and we want to do some home movie, and we will shoot like that. What we used to do is to take away all the periphery things and then shoot the camera at hand, only lens and the camera body with the magazine, and many places it worked. And even in Disneyland where we went, I told them, I will not accompany the camera when you are taking it inside, because definitely the security people will come and check it. So I said, okay, don't hide it. Let us keep it at our hand with only the body and lens, and the magazine somebody else will give. And I asked the Tamil camera attendants, whatever way you can communicate, you communicate with the security people. So they went in as we expected. They came in and stopped us and asked the question, what are you doing? So we all had the entry tickets, and we said that we are the marriage party, and they are the couple, new couple, and we are all relatives. We are just enjoying making a home movie. But then he was not very sure whether this camera is an amateur camera or a professional camera. So he called the superior, and he came in a big fancy jeep and stopped there and looked at our camera. This was a Arri 3, simple Arri 3, and he declared, no way, this is not a professional camera, this is an amateur camera, let them shoot, because they have seen this big Panavision camera with all accessories and big lenses. He just dismissed it as a amateur camera. And that day was this electric show where the Disney characters and their electric parade. They have the electric parade at that day. So happily thereafter, for 2-3 hours, we went on shooting this electric parade with our characters, and of course nothing happened related to this. There was no dispute on later. So we did such little tricks everywhere, and in fact I had to shoot most of the film in America handled. In fact, I had to shoot most of the schedule in America handheld shots because of this drama. So anyway, we managed like that in many of the difficult places where location permission was impossible to get, including Smithsonian Institute. They don't give permission to shoot their own group, but then we again said we are a marriage party from India celebrating this new couple, and it's a home movie and we are taking it, and we did it. So there were so many nice feelings about the shooting in America, and then of course we came back, and second schedule was in coastal Karnataka areas in Udupi and Chikmagalur, and especially I remember one song which is shot in the one of the islands, a little far away from the shore, and I don't remember the name of the island, but hundreds of films have been shot there. But we tried to get new images from the landscape, and it was successful. People thought this song was shot in America, and that was nice. I was also surprised to see the respect and affection Nagadali Chandrasekhar got from the Indian community, especially from Kannadigas, and how all of them wanted to help him in making this film. That was also a surprise to see that such a community feeling existing among the people. And there was a kind of a little funny incident in Niagara, where I wanted to, we were shooting Niagara, some of the song sequences and all that, and then we said we will see the night lighting in the Niagara Falls, and after that we leave. So it was dark, and we could see the artificially illuminated Niagara Falls, and then I found it very beautiful. But then how to record it? It was very small. For one thing, where we were, it was at a distance, and the illumination was very low to be recorded in the negative. Then I thought, why don't I do an experiment? I thought instead of 24 frames, I can shoot the whatever minimum rate the camera will run, I will run it at that and shoot it, so that I get little more exposure. So I realized that it was an RE3 camera, and it would run at 3 frames per second, minimum. That means 1 second it will expose only 3 frames instead of 24 frames. So what I did was I just pressed the on switch and kept it pressed, so that switched it on so that it will run for a long time and get some footage for us. In fact, if the calculations to be said, to get 1 minute of the footage, we will have to, at that frame rate, run the camera for 8 minutes. So I was running it around 20 minutes to get a 3-minute footage, and the production people got little panicky, and they were saying that you can't see anything with your naked eye, and this cameraman is shooting so much time, wasting the negative. So then I said, no, it will be all right, and I am not wasting it. I am running it at a very slow speed. And in fact, later I came to know, and these shots of Niagara Falls at night were some of the well-liked shots in the film when it was screened in the regular theatres. I was very happy about that.
ನನ್ನ ಆತ್ಮ ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರಾಣ ನೀನೆಂದು